Hi everyone, Nigel Saunders here. Today I'm going to do the first work of the year on my Serissa japonica. I overwintered this tree in the cool basement, so it was basically dormant the entire winter. Then I brought it up here into the greenhouse, it warmed up, and now it's starting to leaf out. The tree has lots of vigor, and you can tell by the leaf size. It's really big. So this is the spring growth. And you can see it's pushing out more on the edges of the canopy and less on top. And that's just because the horizontal branches are longer and thicker, and the ones going up are skinnier, and that's just because of the shape of the tree, that these ones grow with more vigor because they're longer. So what I'm going to do today is prune a lot of this new growth back, take a look at the overall styling and make sure it's on track for this year. Yeah, so a bit of pruning today. Here's a look at the tree, and I'm always evaluating the design of the tree. Is it too rounded? Is it too flat? Is it too wide, the canopy? How wide can I go before it looks ridiculous? Do I need to shorten it back? I'm always thinking of these things when I look at the tree. And I use my reference pictures a lot to kind of study acacia trees, which this tree is styled after. And yeah, always looking at the reference photos, evaluating my styling. One thing I want to do for sure today is flatten out the edges. They're getting very thick at both edges, so I want to bring those back, kind of completing the rounded profile. I've had this tree sort of more triangular. I've had it flatter, I've had it rounded. I'm always kind of trying out different ideas with the tree. So that's one thing I'm going to do today, is shear those edges back with the blue scissors, getting them thinner and more in profile. Today will be one of the hottest days of the year so far. 28 degrees Celsius, and the power is out. The power will be out for 5 hours. They're working on the hydro lines out in the street. So I've got my solar powered fan in the greenhouse here with the solar panels up here. That's the only air circulation I have other than leaving the door open, and I've got the vents that open up automatically in the ceiling. So I'll have to keep the trees in here well watered today so they don't get too hot. Down the street you can see the hydro crews working on the lines. So they're replacing all the wooden light poles with concrete ones, and they're working down here too. I'm going to begin the work now by shearing the profile. So here I go. So you can see all these vigorous shoots. So I will come back to, so I'm looking at the front view here. Thinning out these edges. Oh, there's that Serissa smell. They're a smelly plant. Yeah, so I'm cutting back all these vigorous shoots. I want to grow the canopy out evenly. I don't want, some branches thickening out more than others. And when you're doing this, rotate it around from all views. So I'm going to come in here now on the other side. Thinning it out at the edges. And I have less of a curve front to back and more of a curve in the canopy left to right. That way I keep my foliage pads or my canopy thinner at the front. If I had it really rounded at the front, I'd have like more of a dome in the front rather than a thin curve of foliage. Okay, let me get all the foliage out of the canopy here and have a look at it, see what it's looking like. And I just want to brush it off a bit. Okay, let me take a look at the profile from the front now. Here's the tree from the front. Just having a look. It certainly looks better. I think I'm getting quite rounded with the canopy, and I'm wondering if I need to flatten it out more. Maybe not. I think I'm still a little heavy on this side. The curve, it kind of curves at the top, then it straightens out here. I need to bring that in a little tighter. This side is good, so I'll do that. May even be able to go a little further. Now, have I gone too far? Let me have a look. Maybe I'm more curved on the one side than the other now. Yes, this one needs a bit more work. How is that looking now? That looks better. Still a little straight here and here. So maybe I've got to bring the tips back a bit. And on this side. When I do this, I lose a little width of the canopy, but I get a better profile shape because you are working on a three-dimensional tree, not a two-dimensional tree. So let's have a look at that now. I think that's looking better. I'm a little maybe heavy right here. Just a little bit. Right here. That's looking pretty good. Okay, now I've got to look at the tree from above and make sure there's not branches sticking out of the profile when viewed from above. It should be like an oval shape. I'm looking at the tree from above and I'm going to do a bit of a cleanup on the profile. So I'm a little long here, definitely long here. Long at the back here. A little long at the back still. A little long here. Maybe here. Still a little out here. Still too long here. How is that? A little long here. that's looking pretty good. I think that's as good as I can get the top profile. I'm just having a look from the front now. So because I sheared some of the outer profile, I'm still a little heavy at the edges, so I'll have to do a little more pruning. Okay, here I go. A little more off the edges. And then I have to check it from all the other views too. So I'm rotating around to the left side view. A little heavy at the back here. Okay, looking good. The back of the tree, like a little off here. And the right side view. Yeah, I'm a little heavy at the back still. That's better, but not perfect. That's looking more symmetrical. And back to the front, still looking quite good. Maybe a little bushy here. Maybe a little here. These long-handled scissors are perfect for doing this profile pruning. They're nice and long so you can get nice smooth curve shapes. Well, I think that is maybe as good as it gets. I could reduce it a bit more at the tip. Yeah. Let me stand back and have a look at it now. Here's a look at it now. So I'm still a little thick here and maybe a little at the edge. I think it's more this side. Let me prune that back a bit. How was that? Wasn't much of a clipping, but I think that's really helped. Well, I think that looks good. Definitely looks better from when I started, that's for sure. Yeah, I think the shape is looking good. My next step is I have a few suckers growing up from the roots here that I'm going to prune away. The back here. And Serissas always do this. They sucker up from the base of the trunk and the roots not too badly. There's some trees that do it all the time, but you just have to prune them away maybe 3 times a year. It never gets out of control or anything. And then I've got a few weeds I can pick out. This one here. And I've got to clean up all this foliage that's fallen down now. I got most of it away already. Okay, I'll continue cleaning it up and then we'll come back and take a final look at the tree. The power is back on now, so it's a little cooler in the greenhouse here. I've got the fan blowing cold air in from outside. It got quite hot in here. There will be more pruning coming to this tree in the future. I need to go in and look at each branch and separate it into individual branches so it's not just one big dome canopy. So that will be coming. I'm going to let the tree recover. I'll give it a bit of a rest period. So probably in 2 to 3 weeks, I'll be tackling more of the branch structure. I'm also going to be thinning out the foliage underneath so I get kind of a thin band of foliage on top so it's not so dome looking. And I may reduce the apex a bit more. I'll see what back buds I get. I don't want to take it down any further than I have already at this point in time, but maybe in the future I can lower it so it's not quite so rounded on top. So let's fly in now and have a look at the tree. It's nice to be working on my Serissa once again after being dormant for the entire winter. So there'll be more work coming on it. Should be quite exciting. But that's all for today. I'm Nigel Saunders. Thanks for joining me in the Bonsai Zone.